Alright, hey everybody. Sorry I might cough a little bit during this video. All of a sudden just got like an itch in my throat. But anyway, this is one of those times where I just have to bring up some stuff. Like, I'll watch a video every once in a while, and it'll just be like moonboy mentality, and it really, this is some really glorious shit going on right here. Usually Sunny isn't this bad, but let's just.
There's no reason denying that. But the charts I'm going to show you right now.
Wait, he says right here, he's like,
in a bear market, and there's no reason denying that. But the charts I'm going to show you right now.
Yeah, we're in a bear market, and there's no reason denying that. But the charts he's going to show us are going to change that somehow.
Give you maybe a little bit of a different perspective. Number one, Bitcoin is still in this weird consolidation phase. We do not really know, are we going to break out to the upside above 4,400, or are we going to fall again, retest 3,150, the bottom approximately, and fall through that? It kind of feels a little bit like that Bitcoin is trapped in that area. But if we analyze that area since the bottom that we have seen so.
This area is shaky as fuck. Anybody who is paying attention to this at all, with even a slight bit of understanding of any of this technical analysis stuff, is watching that 20 MA. The 200 MA is just creeping the fuck up. So even if we're going sideways, we're going to probably go underneath. Even if all Bitcoin does is just sideways for a little while, the 200 MA is going to come in. And not only that, but the 20 just recently crossed. And now we got a bear cross on the stochastic. And the stochastic, look at this. Okay, so, it was this high here last time. And that kind of came down a bit. It only made it up halfway, and then it came down pretty hard. Like, right here. It dumped from here to here, and that was pretty rough. So, we have this 200 MA right now, right? And it's constantly going up. And our stochastic is pinned. It's fucking pinned. So, let's just say, like, okay, well, it was over here, and it went down a tiny bit, and it was boom, right? Okay, alright. Over here, maybe, like, you could say, okay, maybe it won't go down that much. I'm just saying that the only times the stochastic has ever really been super high up, it dumped pretty good. Like, a pretty good amount went, right afterwards, right? It would end up, like, maybe kind of evening out or something like that. But even in the simplest example, just looking at this right here, I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, this shit is going to go down. And it doesn't have to go down very far. All it has to do is test previous support, and it's probably going to bump this 200 MA. I'm not feeling optimistic at the moment, okay? I don't feel a little bit like... Okay, so anyway, whatever. It's not financial advice or anything. I'm just looking at this right now and I'm thinking, it's pinned to the top, okay? So, and all it has to do is like this candle right here. All it just boom, and it's either bouncing or it's crashing below the 200. So, Bitcoin has one choice. It either keeps going up, like period. This is it, guys. We're skipping the whole consolidation. We're skipping all that. We're bull now. This is like a cattle prod, okay? I'm just not seeing it, guys. I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing this, like, super bullish thing. Okay, but let's let Sunny talk a little bit more.
So far, you should definitely keep in mind that we are already talking about from the bottom until today. This is more than 3 months, 94 days.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that's great. It went up a little. Or it went up a lot, actually. Okay, so it goes a little bit like this, and he goes into this.
Not talking about the first time, but it's the first time we see this in full perspective here on this nice graph from Coinmetrics. Now, what we can see right now is, or what we could see in the past is that pretty much the correlation between the exchange volume and also the price, or the other way around, does not really matter. But what we clearly can see is that basically whenever the price is low, the volume is low, and whenever the price is high, well, the volume is high and goes up as well. But what we see right now raises the question, is there either so much fake volume going around, or is there something not normal going on to maybe indicate a bull market?
Okay, so he's talking about this as volume, but if I look at the volume here, I'm seeing the shit crash. Like, it's going down. Like, it's getting worse and worse. It looks an awful lot. Like, the last time it was at these levels was right here, before it did this shit. Right here. Like, it's like literally sitting at exactly the same levels at this point in time, at the same exact moment, when this shit is crossing right here, and is hitting the 20 weekly MA. Like, everything's happening at the same fucking time. Like, there's like 5 or 6 different indicators, and they're all like, this coming down, motherfucker. And then there's this one on the bottom, and it's like, but anyway, let's just talk about because I already just talked about this, but I'm just looking at this, and this shit is going down. It's going down. I'm looking at it going down. Where is he getting this? It's going up. What is that?
Because if we have a look at this, the price went down from that $6,000 range into the $3,000 range, but the volume actually came down as well, but then kept rising. It really looks like the volume was not affected by this drop at all. Now, what does that mean? Does that mean that the price was so manipulated from 6 to 3K, and overall there was still the same interest, but the price does not reflect that? Or what is more likely, in my opinion, well, there's
exchange volume? And yes, there is wash trading. It's constantly going on. All right, so this part right here was the best.
Of this scenario. Chart number 3 is once again.
All right. So when I look at this, I'm seeing exactly what the indicators are telling me right now, right? This is pretty good. This looks pretty solid. See this? It ain't at the bottom. We're like up here or something, maybe. We're closer to like up here. All right, compared to the last bear market, right? That's what this is. This is what pretty much we're kind of like somewhere in the middle. Like it's not gonna come down that hard, maybe. I don't know, but I could easily see a wick coming out. You know, just fucking shit up, and then kind of going. But all right. So he's sitting here. He's like, okay, guys. All right, all right.
The big picture of Bitcoin. But no, today we're not going to talk about BTC channeling here. What we're going to talk about is something different. And I think I could just leave it like that without an additional comment.
Is he staring?
All right, and last.
Okay, all right. He's just gonna leave this line here, guys, because. Oh. I think I'm gonna fucking go crazy paying attention to cryptocurrency. I'm gonna fucking lose my goddamn mind. What the fuck is that? What did you do? Why did you put a line there? Oh my god. I love how he skips this. Everybody look at this and they think, oh, that's just a little tiny bit. That was a year. The bear market ended here, and it went sideways for a fucking year. Here, look, I can show it on my chart too. Okay, like, what is he skipping this for? Okay, so here the bear market ended in 2014, right? So it's January 15th, and then it went sideways. It was, you know, but the shit capitulated real fucking hard. You had this like candle of death. Look at the volume on this motherfucker. It was just it just dug in and just fucking. It was brutal as fuck. All right, so then all of a sudden, like we would, you know, hey guys, you know, Bitcoin's dead, Bitcoin's dead, Bitcoin's dead, Bitcoin's dead. Oh God, it's really dying. It did it one more time. It did it a second time, and then that's when the sideways consolidation ended with 2 fucking nasty dumps. Okay, and then it went into the bull market. This is when it went bull, fully bull. All right, it took a long time. There you go. Right. So January to August was this. Okay. All right, that's when it went bull, and I'm not seeing that here. Like, okay, so first of all, the volume here isn't a bottom. This doesn't look like a bottom. Oh God, guys, you know, I would love to hear that Bitcoin is just gonna go straight up, but I'm just looking at all this stuff, and like, he just drew. He skipped this whole part. This is actually like a thing. Like, this is part of the process. You can't just skip this. That's the sideways. So either we're in the sideways right now. He's trying to make it look like we're going up from here. This is it, guys. We're going straight up. This is how I know the market's. This is how I know the bottom's not in. This is how I know. Because people like this, they just. I'm just gonna lose my mind, man. Anyway, okay. I just had to make fun of this. I just had to. I'm sorry. Like, I could probably. You know what? I'm already doing a crypto rant-ish video. So here's something else. I wanted to discuss a little bit about the Discussions.app, and I want to go into the dissenter functionality, right? And it's been brought up a few times when I was talking to the devs of Discussion.app, and I just want to give a little bit of feedback regarding. I just want to give a little bit of feedback regarding some things for Discussion.app first, right now. Okay, so just a few tidbits of information. One, The first thing that comes to mind is that the pinned posts. I don't know. Wait, maybe they're not here anymore. Seems a little bit like the pinned posts that they're not there anymore, so it's irrelevant. Okay, that's already been fixed. When I was mentioning the idea of having the advertisements and stuff like that on the side, and like, you know, people being able to spend their karma and be able to do, you know, put their posts on a list that's visible, I was actually thinking that it would go here and not in the middle. Because one of the things that I noticed when I was looking at this, you know, a lot of the posts, or, you know, I would go to all or whatever, and there'd be a couple of pinned posts, and it made it really hard to be able to see, like, the actual content that I wanted to see, because there would just be these things here. And I think that that's something that would happen if somebody decided to do advertising. It would basically pin the post into the center. But what I actually think would make the most sense right now would be to take, you know, to have the list on this side. Because, like, recently visited, I almost don't even want to have that list. Like, a lot of people probably don't use that. And it actually does, not only does it not add, it actually takes away value in a lot of ways, in my opinion, because a lot of the time, you'll be like, okay, guys, you know, somebody's looking at porn or something like that, right? Like, you don't want them, this is going to be a fully decentralized platform. People are going to be clicking on weird shit. They probably don't want to have a recently visited thing just, like, exploding up and, like, sitting there, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just pointing it out. Like, it doesn't really match the medium. Maybe this is if this was Reddit or something. Even Reddit kind of sucks a little bit on that front. But like I don't know. It doesn't seem like something that would bring more value than having the top 10 posts that have the most advertising. Also, the subscribe button could be somewhere else. Like the subscribe could be, I don't know. It could be like next to the name of the actual thing, or it could be I don't know. You can have it here or something. Like you could use this space right here for the top 10 promoted posts, and you'd see an icon of the post, with a graphic or something like that, and it would have the title here underneath. It would kind of look like advertising, but you know what I mean? They could just take this entire side of things and it would make more sense if it was all here, rather than giving people the ability to pin post. Like if there was a pinned post, maybe the pinned post could go out, in a little window right here, and that would bump down the advertising posts or something like that. You know what I mean? Like that way, people can see this stuff off to the side, but they're going to still be able to see the content that they want to see. That there also just seems to be something missing. I don't know what it is, but like maybe it's just like a lack of like. Maybe the icons are lacking or something like that, but I still feel like it's hard for my eyes to look at what I'm seeing. There's no imagery, there's no memes, there's no, you know what I mean? There's something sort of, it's not dull, it's just, nothing's drawing my attention. Like if I go on to Twitter, I'll immediately see, someone's cool artwork or something like that, right? Like there's something that immediately draws me. Like you'll see a video and it's already playing and you kind of want to see it. Like there's a certain sort of like psychology to it where, you know what I mean? Like if you walk into a room and everybody's already talking and there's all this stuff going on and you kind of have an idea. That's what's missing from this at the moment. Like that's one bit of feedback that I'm sure you guys are probably already well aware of that. Now the dissenter thing is another thing that I've been wanting to make a video to talk about just so I could show it to you. Now, the people who did dissenter are kinds of geniuses. Basically, they just have this thing, you can put a URL in it, and basically it makes a thread. And now all you need on top of that is a way to, whenever I'm looking at that same URL, to have a little thing that has like a number, like how many posts there are or something like that, like how many, like that there's some kind of activity going on. But there's also a couple of other things that are really important when it comes to the way dissenter works. Notice that there's a button here within the dissenter thing. It's the same thing with Twitter. You look in Twitter, it'll be like dissent this. So from a psychological perspective, one of the things that dissenter is doing really, really, really well is that it's always present. I can't forget about it. Now that I have it, I can't just be like, oh, whatever, you know what I mean? That right there, in and of itself, is key. That is brilliant. Because as a regular user, usually I'll get like some other social media. I'll use like Minds or Gab or something, like that. And I just fire some shit off onto it every once in a while. And then I kind of forget that it even exists, right? And like maybe it was good, maybe it sucks, maybe I'll have to put like extra effort. Dissenter is actually kind of ahead of the game because all you had to do was just install this one little plugin or figure out something that you could do, and then it doesn't even matter what I'm doing or where I am on the web. It's always there, and it's going, hey, dissent this. Hey, I exist. Hey, I'm something you can use. Hey, check me out. Hey, is there anybody else posting on this thread? Blah, 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 right? Now, I realize that in terms of, like, the centrality, having a plugin like that could probably bring up issues in terms of, like, proper decentralization and shit like that when it comes to, like, Discussions.app. Okay, yeah, there's definitely something there that could be brought up, in regards to that kind of an argument. But, there's more here. There's more here to be gained than there is to be lost. I mean, even just if this one thing wasn't decentralized, I don't know. Maybe it wouldn't matter. Or maybe it's just a tool that I can have. That I can run on the side, and it just sort of like stays up all the time. Maybe if I have Dissenter running, maybe if I have Novosphere running in a tab, maybe I can do it that way. Like it automatically updates or something. I don't know. There's probably some way to do this where you can get around that problem of having to have something, some kind of an app like attached to my actual browser. But with that said, that this is brilliant just because of the fact alone that it's just there all the time. I can, I don't even technically need a Reddit account anymore because I could just go to Reddit and I could find a thread that I like and I could just post on it and it'll, the thread will exist on here, but everybody can see that's what's there. And now all you need on top of that is some kind of an indicator that somebody did in fact say something on this URL. No matter how it works, the more seamless it is, of course, the better. But once you have that, then it always exists. Even if all it did was just add a little button that on my Reddit account or whatever, where it's like, discuss this or something, you know what I mean? Like, you have the Novosphere version, like a little like EOS icon or some shit like that, right? That would be fucking phenomenal. I really, really feel like the dissenter idea, this idea right here, is it. This is the greatest idea in a while. And I don't think that the Gab people are smart enough to really actually make it work. And it's also, it doesn't really, this is the first time I'm seeing a really great idea that would be better done with cryptocurrency than been done with, a centralized database type setup that's a centralized setup. Because it doesn't allow anonymous posting. It's you know what I mean? It's like, in fact, it has my name on my account, and it won't let me change my name. So, like, I can't, like, shitpost on, like, anywhere I want. Like, I have my name plastered there, which, I mean, that's even worse than, like, at least with Twitter, like, you can, I know my name's out there. I know that people can figure out who I am if they really wanted to very easily. I don't have my identity is known, but I don't want it plastered on my posts, like, so easily found. Like, that's a little too much. And, it's absolutely ridiculous. I think if Discussions had something just like this, where it was just like, you plop in the URL and it finds a thread that has that exact URL on it, we'd already be there. You have like 80% of Dissenter's functionality. But that last 20% is actually a lot more than just 20%, because making sure that people can't forgetting about Dissenter, right, is impossible now, because it's just there at all times, no matter where I am. I can be, browsing any forum, anything, anywhere, and there's always going to be some chance that there's somebody posting some comment, something that I wouldn't be able to see normally unless I clicked on the discuss this or dissent this button. And the more visible that is, the more seamless that is, the better. And whether it requires a plugin or not is irrelevant. But just having that sort of functionality is, boom, that's it. You've got your keys for the internet. Like, there's nothing anybody could do. You get a cryptocurrency version of something like this. You add the ability to utilize more coins, like people being able to post with different coins and shit too, like being able to have functionality like using Ethereum or anything like, and then it's just game over. It's just game over on censorship, like, period. End of fucking story. There's nobody to go after, you can't stop it. It would be the end of the whole entire concept of being able to stop people from saying shit online. And the internet would have to change completely, all of its structures, like the URL, functionality, everything, and then it would just become an arms race, and that would be a losing battle. So, alright, so anyway, with that said, I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to actually end the video this time. Hope you guys enjoyed.